Ja, mache ich nach der Direct. So, Leute. Ne? Denke mal, Leute, mit dem Layout gehe ich als guter Reaction-Streamer durch oder so, ne? Wird nice. Ich habe hier noch eine geile Pizza, die ich mir jetzt nebenher gönnen kann. Weil hier habe ich mir auch gerade erst rechtzeitig reingehauen. Ja. Ist jetzt alles dann doch ein bisschen spontaner als gedacht, weil ich bin halt jetzt dann doch gerade erst relativ knapp aus der Stadt gekommen und dann hab ich das auch wieder vergessen gehabt und es ist mir jetzt vor einer halben Stunde erst wieder aufgefallen, dass überhaupt der Reaction-Stream ist. Ich habe schnell das Layout gemacht und alles und cool. Eigentlich wollte ich heute Abend noch ein paar andere Sachen erledigen. Aber hey, erstmal das. Danach können wir dann schauen, ob wir direkt mit Luigi's Mansion 3 durchstarten oder ob ich mir erstmal eine Pause gönnen will und das andere Zeug machen will. Wird sich zeigen. Okay, geht los, Leute.
Hello
everyone, this is Masahiro Sakurai from Sora
Let's
Limited.
go!
The Super
Sakurai,
Smash Bros.
Ehrenmann.
Ultimate game was recently honored with 5 awards
Ja,
at this
fucking
year's
Fight
Japan
Sticks
Game Awards.
da. Sag bloß, mit dem neuen
Awards
Update kann man Fight Sticks in Smash verwenden.
Each award is very meaningful to me, so I would like to take the opportunity to extend my thanks
Bruder.
to all those who have voted
Deine geilen
and to all
Awards.
those who have supported us.
Soll ich ein bisschen
Thank
lauter
you so
machen?
much. Without further ado, let's begin the presentation.
Mach auf jeden Fall
First,
für
we'll
mich ein
start with
bisschen
what
lauter.
the Neo Geo is. It refers to a 1990 video game console for use in arcades and at home, as well as to the name of the system itself.
Ja.
In 1990, the equivalent to the Super NES had only just released in Japan, so if you wanted to play arcade games at home before then, the only option was to play the less polished ports on the Nintendo Entertainment System. However, with the Neo Geo system, you could play the arcade versions of games at home with no drop in quality.
Ist ganz nice eigentlich, sowas nochmal zu haben, weil ich bin halt viel zu jung, um sowas normalerweise zu wissen, ne?
Back then, Japan had rental services for arcade games. In other words, you could go to a rental store, rent an arcade game, take it home, and play it. After that, they were sold for home use, but a single game would cost about 30,000 yen.
300 €, Leute, ich bin schlau. Ja, so
But if you
ungefähr.
think about it, compared to playing a game in the arcade 300 times at 100 yen per play, you're getting your money's worth. At the time, some people actually thought this was cheap.
Oh, Junge.
I mean, there really are people who've played games in the Super Smash Bros. Series 1,000 or even 10,000 times. Anyway, the MBS, as it was called then, was sold in various places, and for an arcade machine, it wasn't all that expensive. You could also get them on lease. That's why you'd end up
Okay,
seeing lots
ja.
of candy stores having
Ja,
metal
ungefähr.
sword
Ich hab so geschätzt, mit Wechselkursen und so
The
sind es
home
dann vielleicht
version
so
of the Neo Geo
250
came with this
eher. Aber ja, war ich ja gar nicht so
You see?
knapp dran, gar nicht so
It
weit
has
dran
4
vorbei.
buttons. And this is the actual console itself. Here is the reset button, and here you slot in the big game cartridges. This is the Neo Geo. Just kidding. Actually, this is the Neo Geo X, the portable version that was released afterward. You could also insert it into this docking station and play it as a home console. Beat Nintendo Switch to it. A portable, multi-purpose
Viel
console.
cooler als die Switch, Leute,
Updated
weil es viel
iterations of
älter.
past systems are emblematic of the Neo
Ja,
Geo.
ist ja.
Next, let's talk about what Fatal Fury is. It released in
Aber es ist
1991.
nice, dass der da so ein
the same
bisschen
year as
die
Street
History
Fighter 2.
erklärt und so, weil
But this one came
Ja.
later.
ich denke mal, die meisten Smash-Leute
Like many of the other
werden
fighters,
keine,
Fatal Fury
Smash-Spieler
was
werden
often
keine
regarded
Ahnung
as
mehr
a title
haben
that
davon
was
und sowas,
developed
also
to
ich zum
capitalize
Beispiel.
on the popularity of Street Fighter
Ich habe
2.
halt
But that's not really
keinerlei Hype wirklich für den gehabt, weil ich halt keine Ahnung habe, was es ist alles und so, aber ja,
using the original Street Fighter
ich lasse mich ja gerne überzeugen.
In fact, the development of Fatal Fury was
meine
started
generell
on one of
ist
the
halt Smash,
planets of
also.
Street Fighter. Did I just hear you say wow? This one is also a multiplayer-focused fighting game. In the story, someone named Jeff Bogard is killed by Geese Howard. Geese Howard starts up a fighting tournament in Southtown, which he runs. To avenge his father's death, Terry enters the tournament, which is known as King of Fighters. I mentioned the term King of Fighters, something you may have heard before. Yes, there's actually a popular series called the King of Fighters, and that series was named after the fighting tournament within the world of Fatal Fury.
Oh. Okay.
And Terry Bogard, who is the protagonist of Fatal Fury, also appears in all the games in
Ja,
the King of
eben,
Fighters
ich halt auch
series
nicht.
as
Woher
one of
hätte
the
ich das
main
auch wissen
characters.
sollen? Wie gesagt, ich bin viel zu jung für die Scheiße und ich bin jetzt nicht wirklich
If you
der
wanna play
Fighting
games
Game
from either of the
Enthusiast.
Fatal Fury series or the King
Yeah.
of Fighters series, many of them are available now on Nintendo Switch as part of the Arcade Archive series. You may not know which one to play first, but my recommendations from the Fatal Fury series would be Fatal Fury Special. From the King of Fighters series, my recommendation would be the King of Fighters 95. But if you want to play a fighting game with all sorts of strategic elements, then I recommend the King of Fighters 98.
Aha.
Next, I'll give you some
Zack,
insight
woher
on Terry
recommenden,
Bogard.
Alter?
Actually, this video was recorded about 1 month prior to its release. That's because we need to translate and edit videos like this one, and that takes time. The game footage you see here is not from the final production ROM, so please understand that there may be some elements that differ from the final game. Since we have the opportunity, I want to talk about Terry using a lot of SNK lingo, meaning in this discussion the younger generations may feel a little out of the loop.
Oh Mann.
But there's nothing to worry about. When we released the original Nintendo 64 version of Super Smash Bros., I was often asked, who is Samus? Whether or not the character is fun to play as is more important than whether the character is new or old, or whether the character is recognizable to everyone. I want to make sure I present Terry to you in such a way that you can fully understand his appeal. So thank you.
Ich meine, generell,
Okay,
Smash hat
let's
so
begin.
viele Charaktere bekannt und beliebt gemacht. Ich meine, generell, die ganze Fire Emblem Series hat ihr Comeback und ihre Bekanntheit im Westen Smash Bros.
This is Terry
verdanken.
Bogard in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay, Bruder.
He's
Zeig
still
nice
wearing an
moves.
outfit that
Die
reflects
Stage
the
sieht
era
auch
of his
ganz nice
original
aus.
game,
Ist halt
but
einfach
we
nur
did our best
eine
to make him look
breite
cool in a
Stage mit
variety of
Walk-Off
ways.
anscheinend, ne?
When he stands next to Ryu, it almost
Ja.
makes you wonder, is this really
Ist halt
a
eine
Super
Fighting
Smash
Game
Bros.
Stage.
game?
Ist halt mega
Doesn't
nice.
it? Just like Ryu, when you're playing one-on-one, he'll face the opponent. Actually, he always looks in the opponent's direction. Even if you move him to a location behind the opponent, he'll quickly turn around, always keeping his focus
Jo,
on the
hat halt
opponent.
auch diese Mechanik.
Let's talk about his moves. His neutral attacks are jab, body blow, and high kick. Each move is something familiar from the Fatal Fury series. And his dash is power charge. This is a move you can use in Real Bout, Fatal Fury Special, and others. In the original series, it was one of his special moves. His tilt attacks are middle kick, rising upper, and under kick. Compared to Ryu, his attack speed is slower. This is to match his original series. Now for smash attacks. First up, backspin kick. This smash attack is the equivalent to his strong attack,
Sieht schon nice
but
aus,
the motion
ne?
is even cooler than in his original series. Next, wild upper and slide kick. Both are from the original series. Then his midair moves. Jump, then chop. Jump, then kick. Jump, then backward kick. And then somersault kick. However, this somersault kick was not included in the original series. But we needed a move to attack up.
Ja, sieht
So
halt
we
nice
created a
aus
new
trotzdem. Passt gut ins Moveset.
Also, jump and then karate punch for a down air attack. If you successfully pull off a down air, it's possible to attack with a
Ja.
meteor effect. As you
Ist
can
halt
see
wie bei
here.
Ken
It's
und Ryu,
basically
dass
like
es so einen
Ryu's.
weirden,
Next,
schrägen
I'll cover
Spike
his
hat.
throws.
Ist aber halt
His
ganz
forward
nice.
throw is his familiar buster throw. His back throw is also buster throw. And his down throw is neck breaker drop. In fact, he used it in the game Fatal Fury Wild Ambition. I miss playing that game on Hyper Neo Geo 64. And then, his up throw is grasping upper. This sort of dodge attack can be performed after a spot dodge. I mentioned dodge attack. And this actually does exist. During a spot dodge, immediately press the button to counterattack.
Er hat eine, das ist sein Gimmick anscheinend, ne? Das ist eine
During a dodge
Mechanik.
attack, your upper body becomes invincible, so this kind of move gives you the advantage when you counterattack.
Klingt
Now for
nice.
special attacks. His neutral special, with just the B button, is Power Wave. Depending on how long you press the button, you'll use one of two types of special attacks, weak and strong. This one is weak and kinda slow, and this one is strong. Fast, isn't it? For Ryu, in his original game, you used 3 buttons, so there were weak, medium, and strong attacks. For Terry Bogard, you could use 4 buttons in his original game, but there were only 2 buttons for punch, so that's why he only has 2 attack levels, weak and strong. This rule applies to all of his special attacks, so please keep that in mind. By the way, the attack Power Wave is a move that shoots energy along the ground, but how does it look in the air? In his original game, you couldn't use this move in the air. This is how it looks now. As of the King of Fighters 96, the Power Wave ability had a shorter range, so
Ich hätte
we've
so vermutet,
recreated
dass
that
es eher
version
so
of the
wie
move.
so Pikachus
It's a useful move in
Thunderjolt
midair
nach,
and helps
so
keep
schräg
opponents
nach
in
vorne
check.
geht, aber
Next,
so is
we
auch
have a
ganz nice,
special
I guess.
performed while holding in the direction of your opponent, Burning Knuckles. This move also has a weak and strong version, as well as a command input. Like the Hadouken command input from
Oh
Street Fighter
nein,
2,
er hat
you
auch
perform this
Street
command
Fighter
using
Inputs,
the
also
directional inputs,
nur das ist bei ihm halt,
down,
ja,
to
aber
the side, in the direction of your opponent, and then press the button. Doing so makes the move a bit stronger.
oh Junge.
This means that Burning Knuckles
Miss
has
inputs,
4
here we come.
variations. Weak without command input, and strong without command input. Weak with command input, and strong with command input. The strong version using the command input is of course the most powerful. You'll hear a noise when you input the command. And if you've succeeded, you might also notice some green mixed in with the flames. It may be slight, but there is a difference. The strong version with the command input really is strong, even capable of KOing opponents. It can be blocked, however, so be on the lookout for that. In such a case, you'll be left wide open.
Wie er mit seinen 2
This is a
Controllern
first for the
spielt,
Super Smash
Alter.
Bros. Series, but the side specials are split into 2 versions, a back special and a front special. That means
Shit.
there's one more side special than usual, Crack Shoot.
Oh shit.
This
Er
is
hat
a
einen
familiar move
Back
from his original
Special.
game.
Das ist
There's
mega
also a command
nice.
input version. It's performed by using the directional buttons down to the back, followed by the A or B button. The command version can launch your opponent quite a bit further.
Hast du doch gerade. Holy shit, das ist mega nice.
It creates a bit of an arc, so it can be used
Können
as
Ken
an
und Ryu
anti-air
bitte
attack
auch
when
sowas
your
bekommen?
opponents try to hit you. At close range,
Weil
if
es
you happen
funktioniert
to be
natürlich
blocked
nur
by
mit
a
solchen
shield, it's hard to be
Charakteren, die
counterattacked
immer den
because
Gegner
you'll pass
anschauen.
through
Ne?
them. There's something I want you to remember. When you do a crack shoot off screen, this is how it will look. Terry swings with his whole body when using Burning Knuckle and crack shoot, so it can be hard to recover. However, if you keep pressing backwards without inputting commands, you should be able to initiate crack shoot in the direction you're trying to recover. Let me show you one more time. Do this, then continue to press backward. And then you can recover. If you press too quickly or input some commands, you'll fly right off the stage, so be careful.
Okay.
And this is his up special, Rising Tackle. It also has weak and strong versions, each with differing heights. And did you notice that if you hold down briefly to charge, your whole body glows a little? In this case, your whole body will be invincible at the start. Either way, your legs will be invincible. Here's an example of this invincibility in action. With the standard Rising Tackle, I got completely wiped out when I threw myself at them. But with Rising Tackle's charged command version, you can't be hit at this moment, so you come out on top.
Ja, cool.
You can of course use Rising Tackle as a recovery as well.
Ja, ist halt sein Up-Special, gell?
Even after using Burning Knuckle or Crack Shoot, you can still use Rising
Das ist halt
Tackle.
nice, dass sein Side-Special,
This is also very helpful when you're trying to
sein
recover,
Side-
so
und
please keep
Back-Special
that in mind.
ihn nicht in Special
His down
vorbringen.
special is Power Dunk,
Jo.
an attack that rises and descends. This side, down, diagonally down command input is also known as a Shoryuken command.
Okay,
If
es
you
ist
can
sehr
pull it off,
interessant, dass
you'll
es
be
den
invincible
gleichen
at the start of the move.
Input hat und so. Warte, was?
Also, you
War
can
da
hear a
rechts
sound
gerade
when it
eine Wand?
connects,
Oh
but it might be
shit!
tough to make out.
Da rechts ist eine Wand, das
let's
ist
talk
nicht
about
nur
canceling
Warcraft, das
specials.
ist wirklich eine
I'd really like you
richtige
to keep this in
2D-Fighter-Stage. Und hi Basti.
First, if you use a special after attacking with a standard attack, the special won't come out until the
Ja
move
klar,
animation has
so
finished.
funktionieren alle 2D-Fighting-Games.
That makes sense, right?
Oh, und da ist der nice
Here's what
Sub.
happens when you cancel out.
Das hört man nicht.
At this moment here, if you successfully enter the special command, the rest of the animation will be cancelled, allowing you to attack immediately. I'll do that again.
So,
Throw
danke
out a
Basti,
kick like
dass es jetzt funktioniert und so.
And once your leg extends, you'll perform the move.
Aber ja, ist halt... Ja, das konnten ja... Ryu und Ken, konnten die das auch
Set
schon?
it
Konnten
up
die...
so that
Ich
when you
weiß nicht,
attack,
konnten die...
you can go straight into a special.
Oder konnten die Aerials nur canceln? Ich weiß es nicht, ich kenne mich mit denen jetzt nicht so krass
This
aus.
will increase your offensive options. Please try this out.
Aber jo, die Stage
For
interessiert
example,
mich halt jetzt voll, ne?
Neutral attack, 1, 2, and power down. This is a bread and butter combo. Aside from that, you can also get Terry to fly out and attack in an M shape.
Holy shit.
In his original game, you could only cancel attacks on the ground, but in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's possible to cancel aerial moves.
Ja. Sieht halt schon nice aus, der Charakter. Es ist
The
halt
types of aerial attacks
halt
that you can cancel are limited
schon
to things
mehr oder
like
weniger
neutral
ein
air attacks
Dritter.
or down air attacks.
ist halt schon mehr oder weniger ein
But I
Dritter
think
halt
it
zu
would be
Ryu
wise
und
to use
Ken.
these combos to expand your offensive
Aber trotzdem, mega nice.
And at
Okay.
last, the final smash.
Final Smash.
His final smash begins with triple Geyser. Terry will shoot 3 geysers straight forward.
Er hat aber nur einen, nicht so wie Ryu und Ken 2, oder?
However, if you think that's all, you're very mistaken.
Sieht schon nice aus. Es hat
As
52
you can
Damage
see-
gedealt, oder?
If triple Geyser connects, you'll follow up with Power Dunk and Buster Wolf. It's
Fucking
3 moves in
Angriffsnamen,
one.
Alter.
It's a visually striking combo. You may be wondering what happened to his original super special moves. Yes, they're here too. With the usual rules, when Terry's damage meter rises up to 100% or higher, and in stamina mode, when his overall HP drops to 30% or less, you'll see this go icon at the bottom of the screen.
Okay. Hat noch ein
At this
Gimmick
point,
mehr.
if you enter this specific command, you can initiate the power geyser you see here.
Okay.
The command input is, if I borrow the way it's said in the original game, down, angle down, side, angle down, forward.
Wie soll ein Mensch
Well,
sowas
it's a bit
inputten,
complicated.
Alter?
Downward, then backward, then forward. You see? It is an action game after all, so you
Und
get
vor
to
allem
control the
sein
direction
Teil
of your
geht
punch,
nicht
be
weg
it
dabei.
right or left. In that case,
Das
no
ist es,
matter
was
which
mich...
direction you're going for, just
Hat das
swap the
irgendwie
right
einen
input and left input.
Timer oder sowas?
It's like this: downward, then backward, then forward, or down and then the
Ist es
opposite
irgendwie-
direction if that's
Ist das
forward.
irgendwie ein Timer oder sowas?
And then there's this
Weil
other
als ob
super
er dann...
special move,
Als ob er diese Moves immer nutzen kann, wenn er über 100% ist.
Buster
Hey,
Wolf.
yo. Das ist schon
You can
nice.
initiate this one by repeating the Hadouken command input twice. Down to side, then down to side
Aber
again.
ja, dafür musst du halt die Command-Inputs können, ne? Das kannst du nicht anders auslösen. Das ist schon... Aber holy shit.
It can be rather difficult to pull off moves using the original game's command inputs, but you can also use simplified command inputs. In the
Okay.
case of Power Geyser, remember this: down, side, down, forward. As long as you input the command downward to the side, to the back, downward again, and then
Ja,
forward,
okay, sie haben
you
es ein
should be
bisschen leichter
fine.
gemacht und sowas, aber dennoch.
In the case of Buster Wolf, it's simply down, side, down, side. That should be easier to remember. Even though the command input is complex, it can still be blocked with ease. Since these moves can only be used when Terry has taken a lot of damage, you'll be in even more danger if your opponent blocks. So they're high risk and high return.
Aber jo,
Please
ist
save them for when you
schon,
really
sieht schon
need to
mega
make a
nice
last-ditch
aus.
effort. You can use it again and again, but be careful. Your opponent may be able to predict your move and take action.
Ja,
Essentially,
klar.
it's best to use it when it's least expected, or to cancel out of a combo, like this.
Piss dich, Basti, weil du bist hier bei Nintendo Fuckboy Nummer 1, der Smash liebt.
From the King of Fighters series. His down taunt spins his hat like in the real bout series, and his side taunt is stand up from Goro, Mark of the Wolves. I've demonstrated him using various special moves in the game so far, and you can hear his voice. Like that. We've incorporated both his longer
Was
remarks,
ist
like
falsch
Power
mit dir,
Wave,
Basti? Als ob du
from
noch
older
nie
titles,
Smash
and his
gespielt
shorter
hast.
remarks, like Rock You,
Was ist
from
falsch
newer
mit
titles.
dir? Das ist,
And here are his
würde ich mal
color
sagen,
variants.
das größte Franchise, was
There's a
Nintendo
good
so
variety
hatte.
of
So.
colors available from across the series.
Das ist halt einfach
And the cat
von der
design is
Content-Masse
slightly
her ist das
different in
krasser
each
halt
version.
als irgendwie
They're based
die
on his
Costumes,
original
Alter.
games,
Es
and
ist
we've
krasser
also
als irgendwie so
included
ein
some from the King of
Mario-Game
Fighters
oder
14
sowas.
and the anime series.
Gut, das stimmt, Uschi.
He sometimes takes off his cap too. For example, it happens during his victory pose. His cap also blows away when he is defeated in stamina mode.
Okay. Jetzt die Stage. Das ist, was
The
mich
stage
vor
is
allem
called King of
interessiert,
Fighters
tatsächlich. La Jodi im Hintergrund. Kenne ich
It
nicht,
looks like
aber
one hardcore fighting coliseum. The text above the Jumbotron reads, King of Fighters, without the. When we
hätte ich
talk
nicht
about a
lesen können.
game title, we need
Wow,
the up
cool,
front,
danke für
but the
den
name
Raid.
of the tournament in the game's story is just King of Fighters. This is a very unique stage, and it follows some rules that haven't existed in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before. First, the edge is walled off.
das
In the
ist halt...
Super Smash Bros.
Holy
series,
shit.
you need to launch opponents off the stage. Here, however, the more damage a fighter has accumulated, the more the wall will visually react when they're launched into
Oh
it.
mein Gott.
Can you see? Eventually, fighters will break
Yo,
right
das
through
ist
the
ja
wall.
mega sick.
There are fireworks in the background.
Das ist ja mal mega
Basically, this
sick.
special
Also die
feature
Stage
allows
ist
you to
halt
KO
schon
an
mega
opponent
nice.
only after they've accumulated enough damage.
Holy shit.
Das ist Smash ein richtiges Fighting
That
Game.
way, you can enjoy the battle more like you would in a traditional fighting game.
Aber ja, ist es halt echt,
When
weil
you're close
so
to
eine
the
Stage
wall.
habe ich mir tatsächlich schon länger gewünscht.
It's possible to be KO'd even when your damage is low. It's just like in regular stages. In the Real Bout Fatal Fury series, there was a feature in which the walls could be destroyed and players could suffer a ring out when they hit the wall. This isn't exactly the same, but we made it kind of similar to that. We hope you'll enjoy playing at this
Kannst du einen
stage
geilen
with all its
Backthrow
special
Cheese
rules.
machen hier? Oh, holy shit, das ist halt
By the way,
mega nice.
there are guest characters in the background, right? Since we have the opportunity,
Das
I'd like to
ist
introduce
Goku.
First up, Andy Bogard. He's the adoptive brother of Terry Bogard. Both of them were adopted from an orphanage and raised by Jeff Bogard. However, while
Bitte
Terry's
gehen Sie
teacher
weg, Herr
was Jeff
Basti, mit
Bogard,
Ihrer
Andy
Negativität.
studied under Mai Shiranui's father. He uses the Koppoken fighting style. Joe Higashi. He's one of the three main characters from earlier games in the Fatal Fury series. He's the only one that doesn't have any connection to Geese Howard. He's a Muay Thai champion. Tung Fu Ru. He's the master of the Holy Fist of 8 Ways, and he also trained Jeff Bogard. He can enlarge his body as well. Billy Kane. He's been in many Fatal Fury games since the first one, and he's the right-hand man of Geese Howard. While he appears in the first game, his costume is based on his appearances in King of Fighters 97 onwards. You can't really see his back, but the no smoking symbol is definitely there. Geese Howard. He's the big boss of Southtown. And he's the rival of Terry Bogard.
Ist der, ich kenne den halt nur von dem Runterfall-Meme, ne? Das ist alles, woher ich den kenne.
His first appearance was Goro, Mark of the Wolves. He's the son of Geese Howard, and Terry actually raised him. That means his appearance in this game at this age with that look doesn't really jive with the timeline, but Smash is kind of like that to begin with, right? Kim Kapwan. He uses Taekwondo and considers himself a fighter for justice. His Ho'okyaku is very famous. Ryuji Yamazaki. His first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3, and he's a criminal known as Dark Broker. He's very selfish and sadistic. Blue Mary. Her first appearance was in Fatal Fury 3 too. She uses combat sambo, and she's a good drinking buddy of Terry's. Those were the characters from the Fatal Fury series, but from here on, let me introduce characters from other series.
Okay.
Athena Asamiya. She's a Psycho Soldier. Psycho Soldier is a memorable game released around 1986, and it was the first title to feature a fully voiced theme song within the game.
Sind es da jetzt noch andere SNK-Charaktere, die hier halt an sich nichts zu suchen hätten, aber trotzdem gefeatured werden und so? Schon mega nice, ne?
Music start. Kyo Kusanagi. He's the protagonist of the King of Fighters series, and he uses the ancient martial arts Kusanagi-ryu. Speaking of the protagonist, there are differences depending on which version you're talking about, like Orochi and Nest. Anyway, he is forever a school kid. Iori Yagami. Originally, he was introduced as Kyo Kusanagi's rival, but when I first saw this character in the game at the time, due to his look and attitude, I thought, whoever created this character must be a genius.
Gürtel zwischen den, der die Beine so verbindet,
Goro
richtig
Daimon.
laufen.
He's a judo gold medalist belonging to the Japanese team, and he likes to throw his opponents. Chang Ho-hen and Choi Bonge.
Was sind das für welche, Alter?
One is an escaped convict, and the other is a slasher. They are
Sind das
currently
für
undergoing
welche, Alter?
rehabilitation under the previously mentioned Kim Kapwan. Ralph Jones and Clark Still. Originally, they were main characters in the Ikari Warriors series before Neo Geo. They appeared as guests in the Metal Slug series too. Ryo Sakazaki, the protagonist of Art of Fighting. The original Art of Fighting was released just before Fatal Fury 2.
Ach, Mann.
That means it was the first game to implement a true super special move. How could I not include him? King. Her first appearance was in Art of Fighting, and she's a bouncer and bodyguard.
Wie viel
She
hätte
is
ich
a
ihn nicht
beautiful woman
reintun
with an
können?
androgynous sense of style.
Mega nice.
Next, Yuri Sakazaki. She was kidnapped in the first Art of Fighting game, but after that, she trained hard and mastered Kyokugen Karate in just 1 year. In other words, she's a genius. So, as you can see, we've included many characters, a total of 20 characters. You know, it's very cumbersome. I mean,
Schon mega
it takes
nice.
a lot of time. But so many people love each and every one of these characters, even outside the confines of their individual series, so we simply had to do our best by them. By the way, you may have noticed that a very important character from the Fatal Fury series was not included. Yes, Mai Shiranui. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is for good boys and girls of many different ages, so we decided not to feature her. Please forgive us.
Okay. Ich habe keine Ahnung von der Serie,
Also,
aber ich schätze mal,
my
dass die
music
hatte große
features a
Titten
variety
oder
of
so.
tracks, and the music that plays affects which special guests will appear.
Ist schon ein nicer
example-
Kommentar von Sakurai dazu.
There's a track called Pasta, and when the music is playing, Andy Bogard will always appear. I hope you look
Okay.
forward to that as well.
Ist halt umso nicer Sakurais Kommentar dazu.
Okay, I'm done providing information, so
Gib
now
mich selber.
let's jump into some actual battles. This
Okay,
time I'm
Classic
going to
Mode.
play the Terry route of Classic Mode.
Bitte nicht
On top
komplett
of that, I
spoilern,
want
ich
to
will
try
ihn noch im
and hit
Stream
the highest
spielen.
intensity level. Let's see if I can get all the way up to intensity 9.9. Honestly, playing the game in extreme difficulty while doing commentary is extremely hard. One or the other is doable, but doing both at once forces me to divide my attention. But that means I should do my best at both. I'll do my best. First,
Sakurai
this
ist so
route
ein
is named
Schnuckel.
the King of Smash.
Oh,
3
Junge.
characters who have some sort of connection will appear as a set, a challenge that looks somehow familiar. Okay, the first intensity level is 5.0, so I should be fine.
Das ist
All
All-Star-Mode,
battles in
oder?
Terry's route are
No, mega
stamina
nice ist eher,
This stage's special KO rule
ja,
that I
dass
talked
er
about
Stamina Mode
isn't
hat
the
auch.
best match for stamina rules, but oh well. On his route, a lot of stages feel like they're from a traditional fighting
Ist
game.
schon mega nice. Also, sieht schon sehr spaßig aus. Sieht schon
Okay,
mega
I did it
spaßig
anyway.
aus. Ja, die
Of course,
Stage ist
even
halt
in this
einfach
mode,
mega
it's not
nice.
impossible for me to try for
Die
a
Stage
KO,
ist halt
but
einfach
normally
mega
it'll
nice.
be over before that.
Ich liebe die Stage.
There. Done.
Alter, Basti,
Looks
was
like
ist
he's saying,
los
"Give
mit
me
dir?
some."
Nur weil du keine Ahnung von Smash hast,
Next,
musst du jetzt nicht
round two. It's the
deine
Legend of
schlechte
Zelda team.
Seite deines Humors
Just because
raushängen lassen.
characters are in a team because of their similarities, that doesn't mean that they have to be from the same game. This is Let's Go to Seoul,
Das hat ja nichts mit Haten zu tun.
and I've got it set up so that we don't move from the bottom of Prison Tower.
Dann guck mal öfter meine
It would be
Streams,
easiest
Basti.
to simply knock him off the screen, but I'm not going to do that because it's not as fun to watch. Oops, I knocked him off. Over here.
Oh Mann.
It's gonna blow. Will he do it?
Oh Junge.
All right. The boomerang's not coming back. And I can't go to the edge. Oh no!
Schießt sie doch einfach easy.
The tables
Oh
have
nein.
turned.
Jetzt wollte sie ihn schießen, weil er die Eier nicht hatte.
Cancelled it. He wears his cap backward when he does a power dunk. Now you
Aber
can call
die
this the
Details
giant
halt, ne?
stage. All the giants are lined up. Of course, the music track is Taku and Kitami. Of course, he says. You might wonder who Taku and
Sieht
Kitami
halt
are,
super spaßig aus. Ich will den spielen, Bruder.
but it seems like it means Tanaka and Kitamura. This track is from Fatal Fury 2. There's a giant wrestler named Big Bear, and this is his track. Regardless of the track name, it's a really famous hard rock song, so please give it a listen. The original song was called Yusha Raiden. There's that masked wrestler. Big Bear is his true identity. He's called Raiden.
Raiden! Das ist einfach mega nice. So, das ist
Jump.
super,
I'm beginning to find the intensity
Hypnotic
quite
oder
tough.
keine Ahnung, wie ich das
Round
nennen
four.
soll, aber es ist halt
The whole
super
atmosphere
entspannt
is a
irgendwie.
little
Einfach nur
different than how
dabei
it's been up until now, right?
schauen, wie er halt
We've been to
die
arena
HP
style
von denen
flat
so
stages, but
runter sich
suddenly
gönnt.
we're at a battlefield
Und so.
style stage. Oh, there's an
Schon
item.
mega nice zum Zuschauen.
There's an arcade game series called Athena, and this stage uses that as a motif.
Oder warum sind hier fucking Items?
Oh, he's metal.
Alter, Terry ist ganz schön Metal.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I suppose both Lady Palutena and the Athena games were possibly an homage to the Athena of Greek mythology. Plus, I wanted to do something where two characters who are similar or have similar abilities are together. It's a nice Kokugenryu team.
Da hatte ich kurz Schiss
If I let
gehabt.
my guard down, I'll easily be defeated, so I need to pay attention. Not bad, you. By the way,
Oder warum schmeißt du das Item
use
eigentlich?
moves like
Das ist
crash
viel
shoot to
besser,
aim
wenn du
for
es
overhead platforms, so
damit
they have some
schlägst,
utility
Bruder.
to them.
Du hast das Spiel gemacht, als ob du es nicht weißt.
I kept her in check. That was close.
Aber ich meine, ja, zugegeben, ich bin generell nie so der Typ, der Items gerne wegwirft. Ich benutze sie lieber so. Ja, und was ich so bisher an Gameplay von Sakurai gesehen habe, er wirft sehr gerne Items.
You could say the opposing team is comprised of heroes from different companies. Sonic and Terry are on the stage.
Ja, natürlich kannst du durch Schmeißen Kombos erzeugen, aber die Feuerbarriere ist, denke ich mal, wenn du damit eine Smash-Attacke machst, ein bisschen stärker als das Combo-Potential. Ich weiß nicht.
Everyone's getting old.
Kann man drüber diskutieren, muss man aber jetzt nicht machen.
You know, it's easier to fight on sloped ground. When using crack shoot, it's especially easy going uphill. Yikes.
Yikes.
It's too soon to be taking this much damage. I started out with 150 HP, so I feel like I'm losing. Next, Mega Man. He was born in '87. The first Street Fighter came out in '87 as well, so that makes Ryu the same age. That was bad.
Er hat noch nicht gegen Ryu und Ken gekämpft, ne? Ist doch bestimmt der Endkampf gegen Ryu und Ken gleichzeitig, oder?
Of course, this character was made by Bandai Namco Studios, but when I talk to their team, I'll call him
als ob er in der Route nicht gegen sie kämpft, ganz ehrlich.
They always come back saying, oh yeah, our company's character. I often have these kinds of exchanges with them. Oh, that was close.
Yo.
But I won't give in until the very end. Because I've got a super special move. How was that? Not enough? I see. Well, how about now?
Easy, Alter. Mein Bruder, wie weit der Pimmel fliegt, ne?
Next, you could call this Team Darkness.
Team Darkness, Bruder, mega edgy.
With the track Soy Sauce for Geese, playing on the rooftop, it's got the aura of a final showdown. Oh, not good. Up next is Ganondorf. I don't want to get hit by him, not even once. He's huge. Yikes.
Ganon, Bruder.
You can't take things lightly in moments like this one. That was a bad move. Alright, can I do this without getting hit? Now for a scary one, Bayonetta.
Bruder, in dem Spiel ist sie nicht mehr scary. Du hast sie nicht mehr scary gemacht. Was ist los mit dir?
I'm giving this everything I've got.
Ist eigentlich Power Wave. Ist das eigentlich gut, ich weiß halt nicht so genau, wie Witch Time funktioniert, aber kann man einen Witch Time auch aktivieren bei einem Projectile? Weil ich dachte eigentlich, dass es nur bei physischen Attacken funktioniert, weil das würde dann bedeuten, dass Power Wave ein physischer Move ist und nicht als Projectile gilt.
But you couldn't take advantage of that opportunity. That will cost her a lot. Time for the final battle. It's not Master Hand, but Ryu, Ken, and then Terry.
Okay, ja, aber ich habe mir gedacht, dass sie dann im Endkampf kommt, aber dass dann noch ein geiler Terry noch mit dazu kommt, das habe ich nicht gedacht.
It's kind of a themed fight.
Aber er ist halt schon mega nice, ne? Das wäre sowieso der erste Kampf, den ich gemacht hätte im Offline-Modus und so. Was ich so als erstes mir da so zusammen geroleplayt hätte und das ist einfach der Endkampf vom geilen Classic-Mode, also, jo.
But I can't give up until the end. I have a super special move. But Terry is last, so he can use the same super special move. But this is no time for chit-chat. It's really tough doing this while talking. Oh no! This is no good. Got it! It gets even tougher from here. I messed up a perfect shield.
Oh, das ist dann schon... Ich hab Perfect Shield verkackt. Yes. Junge. Der Mann, Alter.
Yeah, but with a power wave? If
Yeah.
I could have pulled off a super special move, that would have been awesome.
Genau, Moritz.
Alright,
Genau,
did I make it
Moritz.
to Intensity 9.9?
Ja, also, ja, viel Spaß, ne? So,
Yes,
ciao.
I did. That was hard work.
Aber Sakurai, easy Mann, Alter, Bruder. Krasser Figure.
Terry Bogard is really fun to play as, so I hope you enjoy playing as him in such situations. Next, let's talk about the music. This time we have something very special lined up for you. For instance, when we were deciding which songs to include in this set, we thought about concentrating on songs related to Terry, but there were a lot of big band style songs that didn't really fit the mood of battle. That aside, the music of SNK has always been great, right from the beginning. So this time, we selected tracks that could be called SNK
Es ist halt so nice, dass Sakurai halt selber so ein Gamer ist und so.
Outside of just Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters. SNK songs have always been great, really. This was true before Neo Geo, and all the way from the old The King of Fighters games to the arrangements in the latest installment, The King of Fighters 14. We did a lot of digging around, and finally managed to narrow our many candidates down to 50
Oh
songs.
Mann.
We never intended to do something like
Songs,
this, of course.
Alter.
So we submitted our 50 proposals to SNK, expecting them to pick out maybe 10 or 20 that they considered acceptable. But they told us they were okay.
Okay, cool. Sie haben einfach alle 50 ein Go
As a
gegeben.
result, we've pretty much added in 50 songs.
Okay, cool. What the fuck?
Have a look at the list.
Ich meine, wie viel haben sie bei
That's
Simon
how we
und
ended
Richter?
up with the list
Da haben
we
sie
had,
auch schon
but
übel
we
viele
worked
Songs
hard to
eingefügt und
deliver
das war
some
so,
of the
ja
best
Bruder, was?
remixes.
So viele Songs und jetzt ist halt für
This
den
was a
ein
very special
Charakter.
one-off case, and I
Ich
don't
glaube, das
think
sind
we'll be
mehr
able
als
to do the
bei
same
Simon
for
und
this
Richter,
series.
oder?
To be honest, I think that being able to
Ich glaube,
hear
bei
such a selection
Simon
might
Richter
make
waren
the
es irgendwie so
Fighters
ein paar
Pass
30 oder
quite a
so,
bit
ne?
more than its price.
Ich habe keine Ahnung, Bruder.
I do hope you'll enjoy it. Challenger Pack 4 comes with a Spirit Board too.
Ja.
The Spirit Board can be selected via the Spirits menu. Have a look at the background. If it looks familiar to you, you'll start feeling pretty nostalgic.
Es ist
Shinkiro-san's
definitiv
artwork
der
is
Charakter
always
mit
so
den
nice and
meisten
vibrant,
Songs
isn't it?
pro Charakter halt, weil natürlich zum Beispiel
You
die
can
Super
also look
Mario Reihe
forward
oder
to
so, die
mock
wird wahrscheinlich mehr
tournaments
Songs
featuring
haben.
each of the characters.
Oder Boobs.
That old school
Die wird
Athena
wahrscheinlich
and
mehr
Raphael Bogart
Songs haben, aber
really
die
is
hat halt auch
something.
wesentlich mehr Charaktere. Also,
Now for the Mii Fighters. Please have a look.
okay Bruder, neue Mii-Fighter-Kostüme.
Ja, jetzt kommen die coolen Reveals.
Nee, also bin schon hyped für Terry. So Bruder, was gibt's Schickes, was ich mir wieder kaufen will? Wird die Zeit von der Menge Fighting Games sein, ne? Und dementsprechend mir nicht allzu viel sagen. Oh Junge, es ist Naruto, Alter. Aber tatsächlich mit dem Unterteil könntest du echt ein gutes Naruto-Outfit oder so machen. Vermutlich. Keine Ahnung, Alter. Ich fass nicht. Das ist er. Der Mann, der nicht laufen können durfte. Alter, Akira. Das ist tatsächlich nice, weil kenne ich ja auch und so, ne? Das ist schon mega nice, dass er jetzt auch, wobei er war schon mal ein Mii-Fighter, glaube ich, ne? Jacky, glaube ich, auch. Ich glaube, die waren sogar schon in Smash 4 schon mal Mii-Fighter, aber es ist halt klar, nice, dass sie jetzt wieder weg sind. Und Akira war ja Assist Trophy und so. Das ist mega nice. Wie gesagt, ich bin halt jetzt nicht wirklich die... Ja, es ist kein Sense oder so. Ich bin halt jetzt wirklich nicht die Target Audience dafür. Aber, ja.
SNK was also involved with the Mii Fighter set this time, so it has a strong fighting game influence.
Ja, es ist 43, da
It
kommt
borrows
nicht
a
mehr
lot
groß
from the
was, glaube ich.
series Nakonury comes from, like her wind slash attack.
Ich meine,
so I hope
generell
you'll
wurde
enjoy
ja
those little
Character
details.
Reveal deconfirmed und sowas, deswegen meine ich mir sowieso nicht so als
Moving
große
on to
Hoffnung, aber
Amiibo, here's the new lineup.
trotzdem. Oh, neuer Amiibo, ist mega nice.
Simon, Chrom, and Incineroar.
Kein
Each of these
Richter
will be
Amiibo?
released on Friday, November 15th.
Ah, mega nice. Chrome Amiibo ist schon ganz nice. So, oder sag mal, was gibt's noch Cooles um
Next,
Version
let's discuss the
6 Update?
details of the updates.
Und vor allem, wann
We've made
kommt's?
some improvements to battle arenas.
Oh, Junge, ja.
First, we're making it so you can send messages to
Okay.
each other in a battle
Or
arena.
Battle Arenas,
The messages
oder?
are preset. So there's that, and also the player who created the arena
Ja,
can now
endlich.
change the rules.
Rules on the fly changen.
We've also
Das war
added
so
the
nervig,
option
dass du
to
jedes Mal
play
schließen und
either
neu öffnen
Battlefield
musstest.
form or Omega form at random in the stage settings.
Okay, ist auch ganz nice, habe ich auch ein bisschen vermisst.
Aside from that, you can now pick Elite only as an arena type.
Nicht, dass ich
Furthermore,
irgendeinen Charakter in
the
Elite
only way
Smash
to
hätte.
play with people you don't know. As long as the arena type is set to public and no password is set, we've made it so anyone is now free to join. So I hope you'll enjoy that. Terry is due for distribution on November 6th. If you have the Fighter's Pass, you'll be able to get him straight away, or you can purchase it
Das ist
separately.
heute, ne? Ich glaube, das ist heute.
Well,
Das ist
I
heute.
think that wraps it up
Wobei
for
es
our
halt
Terry
vermutlich
Bogard
nicht direkt
showcase.
jetzt ist.
I hope we were able to convey his appeal. By the way, his reveal trailer was aired in advance. It was created using SNK pixel art. The complete version of it, including the gameplay portion, is finally ready.
Oh, Junge.
I'd like to show it to you after
Kompletter Reveal-Trailer?
Now this is something of an inside story, but I of course wrote the plot for SNK's pixel art packed reveal trailer. When the invitation comes out, you might recall how it says, "Don't be late, S." That is not what I wrote. It makes me think, ugh, this is why I hate inside jokes. After leaving it to the staff, it snuck its way in there. I just want you to know that the S is also the Super Smash Bros. Series S. Well then, let's
Nee,
move
es
on
steht
to
für
the intro.
Sakurai. Mega nice. Das Smash-Team macht Smash-Reveal-Memes. Ja, dann ist das jetzt vermutlich das letzte, was er heute noch zeigt. Aber ja, mega nice. Mega, mega, mega nice. Der Trailer war halt beim ersten Mal schon mega nice. Oh, ich bin ein Typ, der nicht laufen darf. Ja, natürlich kennst du das schon. Das ist ja jetzt auch nichts Neues. Er hat halt gesagt, Completed Version mit Gameplay und sowas. Ne? Also wird jetzt wahrscheinlich am Ende einfach noch ein bisschen was dazu geaddet sein. Weil bis jetzt ist es noch nichts Neues. Ja. Das ist halt das hier noch hinten mit dran. Das ist schon mega nice. Oh Gott, das ist so cute. Die Stage ist halt wirklich, ich würde mal fast sagen, an dem ganzen DLC, die Stage ist das Beste. Die Stage ist mega nice. Die Stage ist ultra nice. Ja, das frage ich mich auch, Oshi. Vielleicht revealen sie ja das jetzt noch. Sie haben halt gesagt, yo, wir revealen keinen Charakter. Das bedeutet nicht, dass sie nicht das Datum des Character Reveals revealen können. Ne? Aber ich gehe mal nicht davon aus. Du weißt schon, dass Moritz schon lange weg ist, Basti.
We crammed in a little too much content this time. Hopefully, I'll be able to make future showcases a little shorter.
Ja. The live stream has concluded. Thank you for watching. Jo, Bruder, mega nice. Was sagt denn der Live-Chat hier so dazu? No. He's hot. Bier. Lol. GG. No Steve. Bruh. Wer ist Cuphead? Nani. Come on. Ah. Bei Sakurai. Mario in Smash. Rip Etika. Ja, Bruder. War ultra nice. War halt ungefähr das, was ich mir davon erwartet habe. Sie haben halt gesagt, yo, Bruder, keine Character Reveals und so. Und ja, habe ich mir gedacht, es wird wahrscheinlich nur um Harry gehen. Und ja, es ist ein sehr ausführlicher Reveal gewesen und alles. Wurde alles sehr gut gezeigt und so. Die Stage ist halt ultra nice. So, wir können ja mal kurz auf der Switch gucken. Aber ich denke nicht, dass es jetzt schon funktioniert. Dass es jetzt schon da sein wird. Aber wir können ja trotzdem mal reingucken. Software Update. Internet. Ja, ich verwende die neueste Version. Kurz in den eShop gehe. Ja. Ich überzeug mich trotzdem nochmal selber, Uschi. Datencache konnte nicht geladen werden. Der eShop wird geschlossen und erneut geöffnet. Okay, cool. Wurde meine Switch gehackt oder sowas? Stimmt, das mit Sword and Shield muss ich mir auch nochmal anschauen. Smash. So. Zeig mal in eShop. Ja, hier ist halt noch nichts. Ja, da steht auch immer noch nur Kämpferpaket 4 und sowas. Aber ja, wir können ja dann später nochmal reinschauen. Ne? So. Ja. War doch nice. War doch nice. Wow. Da hat gerade jemand geschrieben, we don't need Waluigi, he's trash and he's an assist trophy. Kann man den aus diesem Chat da bannen? Leute? Leute? Ja, ist schon mega ekelhaft, der Mann.